So welcome to today's presentation. This is our second topic as far as principle of management is concerned. In the previous lecture, we looked at the introduction to principle of management, whereby we say that management is the process of getting things done through the efforts of other people. I also told you that this definition doesn't mean managers don't work, they actually work. We also went ahead to look at some of the basic managerial functions, whereby we looked at the planning, controlling, leading, and the organizing. So these are some of the key managerial functions we looked at yesterday. So today we are going to look at plan, goal, and decision making as topic 2 of the principle of management. Now, what is a plan? A plan is a statement of things to be done and the sequence and timing in which they should be done in order to achieve a given end. In its simplest form, planning means determining the goals of an organization and deciding how best to achieve them. Now, if you are a manager, how do you achieve organizational goals? For you to achieve an organizational goal, you need to have a plan in place. It is because of plan you are able to achieve your goals. But if you don't have a plan, it practically means you don't have a goal because a plan guides you to achieve a goal. So basically, that is the definition of planning. And the next slide, we're looking at the characteristic or nature of a plan. One is it is a basic and important management function. Planning is a function of a manager. I remember in the previous lecture we looked at the primary managerial functions, looked at the planning, looked at organizing, leading, and the controlling. So you can see that for you to be a manager, you must be practicing planning. You can't be a manager without proper planning. So that is the characteristic number one of planning. Now, characteristic number two is goal oriented. A plan goes with the goal. If you don't have a goal, then you don't have a plan. So, planning is goal oriented. In other words, we plan because we have a goal to achieve. The next one is omnipresent. When we talk of omnipresent, we are meaning that planning is present everywhere, anytime, any organization, regardless of the size, regardless of the type, planning is always there. Not even only at organizational context, even at individual level, you also plan. At your home, you are the head of the family. If you are married with the children, plan for them. It is actually you. You plan for them. Therefore, we are meaning that it is the omnipresent, everywhere, anytime, any organization. Then lastly is planning is a continuous process. It means you keep on planning. You don't plan only for today and stop. You don't do that. We plan continuously. After a goal is achieved, then you plan for another goal to be also achieved. So it is a continuous process. The moment you join an organization as the manager, just know that you continue planning until you exit the organization. So basically, these are some of the characteristics of planning as far as principle of management. Now let's look at the types of planning. One is the operational planning. When you talk of operational planning, we are talking about the daily activities or day-to-day running of the organization. So you basically plan on how you're going to run the organization. It is on daily basis. The next one is the strategic planning. Strategic planning is all about long-term planning or future planning. So as a manager, you need to have strategic planning. What do you intend to do in the next 5, 6 years? Do you need to wait for the 5, 6 years to come and start planning? No, you have to start planning now for future. So strategic planning is all about long-term planning. The next one now is a tactical planning. A tactical planning is simply breaking down the strategic plan into smaller and detailed particles so that the strategic plan can be achieved. So in the simplest term, it's basically a summary of what you intend to achieve in the next 5, 10 years. The next one now is the contingency planning. Contingency planning helps organizations to respond to future events or uncertainty. In other words, it is called a plan B. It is advisable that everyone must have a plan. In an organization, you need to have a plan B. So without a plan B, the future will be very unpredictable for you. Let us take example of the outbreak of COVID-19. Who expected it? So organizations without contingency plan, they really suffered a lot. But those with the contingency plan, they did not suffer the impact of COVID-19 too much. So the impact was felt worldwide, but those with the contingency plan, they never suffered it the way those without contingency plan went through. So basically, these are some of the types of planning as a manager you need to get yourself familiar with it. Now let's look at the PEST factors to consider when planning. What is PEST? PEST simply means P stands for political or legal factor. What do we consider under political legal factor? We're looking at the government regulations. We're looking at the general political situation of the country in terms of the insecurity. As you are doing your planning, take into consideration the legal aspect of the organization of the legal aspect of the planning. Very important. The next E. E stands for economics. Okay, you need to look also at the economic factor. When you talk of economic factor, you can look at the inflation rate, the level of unemployment, people's income, etc. You need to look at it. As we speak now, the dollar rate is extremely unreasonable. 100,000 SSP. $100 is equivalent of 100,000. Just imagine that kind of economic situation. So as a manager, what plan do you have? Now that the inflation is extremely abnormal, what plan do you have? So you need to consider the economic factor in your plan. The next one is the socio-cultural factor. It stands for cultural factor. What do we talk about? What do we look at under socio-cultural factor? At people's culture, people's origin. We look at the gender issues in the organization. If you're doing your recruitment in the organization, do you only have the male workers or you have also the female workers? What percentage of the female workers do you want to work with? So this is what we call the social cultural factor. In fact, nowadays, ladies have upper hands of getting job compared to men. The reason is because they are considered to be inferior. They have that is special consideration. This is so many organizations are trying to favor ladies to promote what we call women's emancipation. Emancipation. That word, how do you pronounce it? Women's emancipation. Anyway, women's empowerment. But there's a word they used to describe it. Let me see how I can pronounce it correctly. Women's emancipation, something like that. But in summary, you can just say women's empowerment. So many organizations are trying to empower ladies. So that is under social cultural. Uh,
Okay.
the next one is technology. T stands for technology. Technology is now taking over. In Europe, people are now employing robots to work. So where robots are working as a manager, what is in your mind? What comes in your mind is of course reducing the number of workers because of the robots. By the way, I was reading on social media some days back that there is a company in South Africa which is trying to make a robot wife. Okay, instead of you having your wife, you can go and buy the robot wife. Just imagine you sitting the robot on a bed as a wife. This technology is really taking us, I don't know where. So basically, these are some of the best factors you need to consider as a manager when you are planning for the organization. Now let us look at the goal setting and planning. What is the goal? A goal is a desired future state that the organization attempts to realize. Uh, in other words, we can say that a goal is actually a target. What you want to achieve is your goal. Your target is your goal. Every organization has a target or a goal to achieve. Even individuals have a target to achieve. I don't know what are your targets as far as your academics is concerned in terms of the GPA. Do you want to graduate with a distinction? Do you want to graduate with the credit or a pass? So I don't know. That is the goal. Now, how about a plan? A plan is a blueprint specifying the resources, allocations, schedules, and other actions necessary for attaining goals. Now that you have a goal to achieve, for example, you want to have uh, distinction. Okay, you want to graduate with distinction. That is your goal. So what plan do you have? One of the plans is maybe by attending lectures regularly. I think this is what you are doing. So far, 100% you are attending the class. Yesterday you were online, today you are here, it's 100%. So that means you are on a good course to attain uh, your distinction in business administration. So that's about plan for you. Goal and plan goes hand in hand. You cannot talk about a goal and then ignore a plan. Now we look at a goal, mission, and vision. What is a mission? The mission is why you exist as an organization. Okay, influences the planning of the organization and how staff interacts with customers. We interact with customers on our mission. Okay, right. So our mission greatly influences the way we interact. It influences the way we conduct our business. Then the next one now is a vision. So what is the vision? What do we aspire to achieve in the future? Or how do you see yourself in the next 10 years is what we call a vision. So goal and mission are the three elements of an organization. Organization cannot exist without an organization cannot exist without a mission. An organization cannot exist without a vision. So basically, these are some of the key things you need to know as a potential manager or as a manager. Now let us look at the importance of vision and mission. Why is it important to have a vision and a mission? One is they communicate meaning and values to the external stakeholders, potential attracting their support. That is basically about the mission or vision. That value, because when you have people who are interested in your organization, in your business, they first look at your vision or your mission. What do you aspire to do in the next 10 years? What do you do every day? Or why do you even exist? They look at that. When they are really convinced, then they can easily support you by investing in your business, by partnering you delivering services to the community. So that is the importance of having mission and the vision in the organization. Internet out there. The rest, I don't know what's happening to them. Masuk, right? Masuk. That guy is very active. I like him. Peace and ah, was not quiet. So, maybe you will privately just engage him, like asking him what's going on. Maybe there are some challenges. But this economy has really hit very many people. Ha. So our work now, we just produce them. The editing thing, we just produce the videos. The editing, no, okay, me, I'm now using this one. I can't use account OBS here because it will, it will relieve us. Maybe I'm offline, no internet. Now, we are doing things here, then for the, can I start a new one or what do I do? I want to go back to my, I didn't stop it, just the internet jumped off. Yeah, but I want to connect back to it's challenging now. Yes, then can you see my screen? Then can you hear me? Okay,
Hello?
I went offline. The internet is really disturbing us.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm with you.
All right. Can you see the screen?
Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we are looking at the importance of visual animation. Said that it helps to communicate the value to the external partners. If someone wants to invest in your organization or to partner you, what they do is to first look at your vision, if it is inspiring or not. But if it is not, then they don't invest in your business. But if you have a very good vision, mission, they will be able to invest the money in your business. The next one is they give meaning to day-to-day activities and ideally inspire and energize employees. What keeps employees motivated is the mission and the vision of the organization. But if the vision and the mission is not motivating, then employees equally cannot be motivated. They only be working for money because they want to get money at the end of the month. But that love for the work will not be there because of the reason. Now let us look at the characteristics of effective goal. We're talking about SMART. SMART S stands for specific. If you are setting a goal, it must be specific, not general. For example, what do you want to achieve? It should be specific. Not that I want to achieve anything. What is anything? Get the point? Anything is not a goal. It must be specific. Then M stands for measurable. M stands for measurable. So it should be measurable in terms of percent, in terms of numbers, etc. Okay. For example, if you work in a manufacturing company, so you are setting a goal of maybe producing uh, bags of cement. How many bags of cement do you want to produce by the end of this week? Someone can say 1,000, someone can say 10,000. That 10,000 is now the figure. It should be measurable. By the end of the 1 week, then you need to see whether the target of achieving 1,000 bags of cement is achieved or not. Then A stands for aggressive yet attainable. So when you talk of aggressive, it should be motivating, okay? It should give someone meaning to really work. It should be somehow challenging. For example, you cannot say we want to produce 50 bags of cement by the end of this. What is 50,000? I mean 50 bags. 50 bags is nothing. That's not aggressive. But if you say we need to produce 50,000 of cement in this week, then it's aggressive, okay? But achievable because you have the resources in terms of the machines, in terms of the human being or the human resource. Then R stands for relevant or realistic. That figure you are setting should be realistic. For example, you cannot say that we want to produce 30 billion of cement by the end of the day. That is not realistic. Can you produce 30 billion of cement, bags of cement? That's unrealistic. You cannot. So you need to set a figure which is realistic. Then T stands for time bound. Time bound, we need to have the time frame. When do you want this to be achieved? Don't leave it open that I want to produce 10,000 bags of cement and you stop there. When? By the end of this month? By the end of this year? By the end of this week? When? So there must be there must be time frame for you to execute all your targets. So basically, these are some of the characteristics of goal, which is summarized as SMART. So if you hear people saying SMART goal, SMART goal, just specific, measurable, aggressive, relevant, and time bound. Now we look at the benefits of goals and plans. Why is a goal and plan important? One is it provides a source of motivation and commitment to employees. Employees will be committed and motivated if the plan is in place. If you don't have a plan, then people are not motivated. People, especially people who are educated, they need plans. Okay, you need to have a clear plan in order to motivate them. And then two is a guide to resource allocation and action. You need to get the resources. What are those resources? Resources like finances, the human resource, the computers, the cars, etc. So plans help you to allocate them appropriately. The last one is set a standard of performance. You can set standard of performance to a plan. For example, I can say we need to have completed this lecture or this module by this week. That is the plan, and we need to maintain that standard. By the end of this week, we are going to see whether all the 5 lectures are completed or not. So basically, these are some of the benefits of having a plan in place. Now let's look at the SWOT analysis. What is a SWOT analysis in relation to management? SWOT analysis is a strategic planning tool used to assess the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and the threats. It involves in a business venture, project, and the organization. If someone is joining us, yeah, someone is joining us. So basically, that is about SWOT analysis. So why is it important to the management? But before that, let us look at what SE stands for. SE stands for strength. These are the internal factors that give an entity or an organization an advantage over others. They include attributes such as a strong brand, skilled workforce, advanced technology, loyal customer base, etc. etc. So these are the strengths. Our strength as Risto University is the students. You, Makwachu, are our strength. Without you, Risto University cannot exist. Then weakness, W stands for weakness. These are the internal factors that place an entity or an organization at a disadvantage compared to others. For example, we can talk about the limited resources in terms of finance. You don't have sufficient financial force, you won't be competitive in the market. Outdated technology, if you're using poor or older technology, you are going to be limited in terms of production. You will not produce 30,000 of bags in a week because of the outdated technology you're using. And also poor customer service. How do you handle your customer? If you don't handle them well, then it becomes your weakness. Because by the end of the day, they are going to leave you. When they leave you, it is of course the business is going to collapse. The reason why the business exists or is functional is because of customers. So basically, these are some of the elements weaknesses. The next one now is opportunities. These are external factors in the environment that could potentially benefit the organization. Opportunities may arise from emerging markets, new technologies, changes in regulations, partnerships, etc. These are some of the opportunities. If you have market, uh, change in customer needs, it is an opportunity. Advancement in technology, it is an opportunity. Emergence of new markets, opportunity for you to invest in. How about trade? What is the trade? T stands for trade. These are external factors that could potentially harm or create challenge for the organization. Threats may come from competition, economic downturns like what we are facing now. The rate of inflation is completely disgusting. I don't know how we're going to overcome that. So it can really lead to the failure of business. So basically, that is about SWOT analysis. Now let's look at decision making. What is decision? Decision making is the process of selecting the best course of action among several alternatives to achieve a desired outcome or a goal. Before you decide to join Risto University, you had very many options on the table. So you weigh which one to join. Then you decided, okay, let me join Resource of University. It happens at organizational context. If you are a manager, you have a decision to make. Okay, so you choose between three or four options about decision making. So why is it important? Effective decision making is critical for individuals and organizations as it directly impacts their success, productivity, and the overall performance. So it is very important. An organization depends on decision. If the decision you are taking is not accurate, then the organization is bound to suffer. So it helps in correcting errors. It helps in eliminating people who are not motivated, people who are not committed. So now we look at the steps in making process. One is identify the decision. So you need to clearly define the problem or the decision that needs to be made. Remember, when we are deciding or when we are taking decision, there must be a problem. Without problem, we don't decide. Because we decide when there is a problem. So you need to identify that problem which requires. Step number two is gather information. So collect relevant data, facts, and insights to understand the situation and explore potential options. So you need to gather enough information. If you don't have information, then you're going to take a wrong decision. Don't depend on rumors. They just depend on rumors to take decisions. That's very dangerous. So don't must gather enough information. C is uh, identify alternatives. Okay. Generate a range of possible solutions or course of action. So you need to identify two or three options on a table. Don't rely on one option. Have at least three options to give you a better choice. We are continuing with decision making process. D is evaluate alternatives. Okay. If you have plan B, you need to evaluate the plan B also because you never know, maybe plan B is the best option compared to plan A. Then make a choice now. After you have evaluated the plan B or the first option, you can make a decision or a choice to decide which one to take. For example, if you are joining this university, I have told you that you had more options on the table, but chose this to mean you are deciding on one. Then the next one is implement the decision. Okay? After you have made the choice, then you have to implement it. That's just by taking the action now by deciding. Then lastly is evaluate the outcome, monitor. Is the decision effective? Has it solved the problem or it has not? So basically, these are some steps uh, making. Now, let us look at the effective decision making strategies. What are the strategies of making effective decision? One is gather diverse perspectives. Okay? Seek input from different stakeholders and multiple people. So in other words, don't rely on one source because one source may not give you the accurate information. So you need to look for information from different stakeholders so that you come to a concrete decision which cannot affect the organization in a very negative way. Next is use a structured approach. Okay, when we talk about the structured approach, we are talking about utilize decision-making framework such as SWOT analysis. We have looked at the SWOT analysis. S for strength, W is for weaknesses, O for opportunity, T is for threat. So you need to analyze. You need to look at your strength before you decide because you may end up deciding when you are weak. Okay. For example, if your weakness is limited human resource, now you have a decision to fire two, three employees at the same time. Don't you think it's going to affect you? Definitely, it's going to affect you. So, as a manager, you need to look at the SWOT analysis side. Then, lastly, or second last is consider long-term implications. So, the future of the organization after you deciding today, what will be the future of the organization? Need to take that into very serious consideration because decision has impact on the organization in the long run. So make sure that you assess the implication of the decision you're going to take today on the organization. Then lastly is learn from past decisions. If you have ever made a wrong decision, then learn from it. And if the decision you've made basically take a lesson from there before. So basically, that's what I had prepared for you in this, unless you have a question to ask or something. I don't. Yes. Then, yes. Then, are you there? Then, are you there? Then, are you there? Okay. Then you're not responding, but that's what I had.
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Okay. Yes. Do you have
Hel-
any?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
No, sir. Actually, I have no comment on the lecture. It was very good. I'm glad. Although there is network interruptions,
Yes.
but everything is going as planned
Okay.
smoothly.
Yes. Thank you so much.
So I have no question concerning. Yes, I have no question concerning lecture 2 today, but my question it will base for tomorrow for yesterday work.
Mm.
Yesterday.
Yes, please. Oh, I can't hear you. Dang, network.
in the import
Hey,
in the Hello.
yes, please, I can hear you now.
Yes, are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay.
Yes, I'm with you. Hello.
But we did.
Yeah, network.
Hello.
Yes, network has been problem. What was your question? Dang, what was your question? Hello? Okay, network has been a problem, but you are talking things related to the previous lecture about missing parts. But anyway, I will see what I can do for that.